Jermaine, Cicero, and my good buddy here. We're going to be putting out some really good stuff. So I'm going to let Jermaine take over because this is his deal.
Alright, so the first film that we screened is a short film by my friends called KC2 Steppin, which I'm going to be eventually working with him to make it a feature.
When I first came back to Kansas City, I was out one night with my cousin Lonnie, and I went in the true story. I saw the comedian radio host Sean Tyler. He was doing the show. I just got back from Atlanta, and he was just talking about the KC2 Step, and he said a line that resonated with me is, "If you can't two-step, you're not from Kansas City."
Were people like nervous when you were filming them? Like,
no, especially not on, cause as far as the dancers are concerned, because I mean it's such a strong two-step culture here in Kansas City, and like I said, I just captured a glimpse of it. What I discovered is, and that's what Jermaine and I are working on pushing forward, is that you have a lot of places. I mean, there is really a whole subculture where you have a lot of nightclubs in Kansas City that are totally dependent on the steppers for their livelihood and for their revenue. You have like even on the music scene, you have some performers who, they're part of like a two-step circuit, like a Sam Bostic, where he may not be hot everywhere in America, but he's definitely a superstar in Kansas City. Young people do two-step, and one thing that Freddie told me about is they have a lot of what's happening right now to make sure that they do take it into the next generation, is they're having a lot of cross-generational two-step competitions where it may be father-daughter or something like that, to make sure to where it puts it, to where you have to learn to dance. We did a lot of barbershop interviews, KC Cuts, they were really nice, and then like finding out where they did different lessons at. Because I was able to film a couple of the lessons, but they have lessons at so many different places around town, whether it's the F or Pete's place. Aesthetically, KC has so much new beauty to where I love the Sprint Center, I love the Kaufman. So I went out initially, I started with my location shots. And as far as the dance shots are concerned, here it was a choice made in class. It's like, okay, they could talk about the dance all day long, but to show the dance and to really just kind of, because it's just a glimpse, and only have a short amount of time to kind of take them into this world. And I think sometimes the action tends to speak a lot louder than words. Like, they could talk all day long. Like, Freddie's excellent, he can tell you about the dance, but when he actually does the dance and you see him instructing people on how to do the dance, I think there's more power in that. The first time I screened this particular short film was at a UMKC screening, and I had so many people walk up to me who were from west of Truce, and I don't, like, for people who aren't from Kansas City, they don't really know about the east of Truce, west of Truce racial line, and it just shocked them so much that this dance has been around and that they're just totally, just naive about it and oblivious to it. So a couple guys were like, man, I'm going to go home and show my wife. And I mean, if something like that, if it starts with just, from a cultural standpoint, one side of town just seeing, what's going on in the other side of town and having some appreciation with it, it's just somewhere where you can grow from there. And that's what I see. I think if we're dancing together and just enjoying and celebrating life together, it can only get better from here pushing forward.